Hey everybody, and welcome back to another budget with me. And this month we are in October. We are setting up in our Erin Condren deluxe planner. It is a 7x9. In this video we are going to be doing our weekly check-in as well as our paycheck breakdown. So this here I had a Kate Budgets on Etsy. She created this for me, so I have it, and she created me quite a few, so I will have those for a while. And then we are going to be using Sara Marie's weekly check-in kit here, her transaction log, as well as some thick washies. And then we have her thin washies here to go with it. So let's go ahead and get started. So first up, we are going to go ahead and flip on over to the page behind our October budget, and we're going to set up our weekly check-in on this side and our transaction log over on this side. So first we're just going to do the transaction log because it's so simple. So we're going to take a thick washi and lay it down at the top. So I'm hoping everyone is sitting down and setting up their budget for the month. That way they can stay in their budget and get prepared for all of the holidays coming up. I am super excited and cannot wait for all the future holidays this year. Although it looks like half of them will be canceled, but it's okay. So we're going to take our strip here and go ahead and lay it down. It still went crooked. Luckily, Sara Marie stickers are removable, so that I can pick them up and move them. Alright, so we'll lay our transaction log down. Alright, and then we're just going to take our marker, or our pen here, and we're just going to draw in lines straight down to the bottom. That way it's ready to go and I don't have to worry about it when I fill this in. So I like to keep a running transaction log as well as the monthly view with the stickers in there. I just like seeing the log because I can write a better description if it was more household in our grocery category or if it was actually groceries, and it can have a better description over here, and it just makes it a little bit easier for me. So that is how I like to use it. So we're going to use this one. No. Decorate it up a little bit. Put a washi at the bottom. Alright, so that is the transaction log side. Super easy. Now for the more fun part, we are going to do our weekly check-in side over here. So we're going to use the same thick washi on this side. Alright, so we're going to slide this here. Alright, so our weekly check-in, we're going to take our first strip and lay it down at the top. Alright, do our weekly check-in strip sticker. And we do like checking in on Fridays every week during my husband when he gets paid. It's just easier to check in on those days and keep it going. So we check in for we have groceries, gas, my personal spending, miscellaneous, and unbudgeted that we check in for each week. And usually we don't have any unbudgeted the first week, so we're only going to do 4 for the first week, I do believe. So we are not wasting lines. So one, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the categories are groceries, gas, my personal spending, and miscellaneous. All right. So let's go ahead and lay down the rest of our stickers and put in our categories, and then we will be right back. So here is our finished weekly check-in. So we only did 4 categories for the first week, and on the 5th week I made sure to add in unbudgeted in case that we had anything by the end of the month, because it is a 5-week month. There are 5 Fridays this month, so that is how we will be checking in. So I wanted to make sure. So the 31st will go on our budget results videos for that. So next up, we are going to do our paycheck breakdown, and we are going to be flipping back over, and I like to do my paycheck breakdown on the opposite side of our October budget. So we are going to go ahead and set up this side here. We're going to use this thick washi on this one. And that went way below the line. All right, so we're going to take our strip sticker here for the paycheck breakdown and lay it up at the top. Okay, here we go. So next up, we are going to go ahead and do our income stuff at the top. So for this here, I lay it out a little bit different. Like when I first started budgeting, I was doing it all separately and stuff, and I hated to keep flipping back and forth to see what I'd done the week before. So this here just kind of puts it all in one space. I'm not wasting paper. It's more contained to one sheet, and it's easier to look at. So this is how we like to put in our budget. So our first area that we're going to do is our income at the top, so we know how much we're working with when we start to sit down and break our paycheck down. So income, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then total. And we like to skip a line, and then we do our expenses. And I want to say, let's see, we went all the way pretty much to the bottom. Okay. So then we have the second line, which is our budgeted line. So how much we budget for the next month. So this here gives us all of our numbers for what we plan to use, or how much we plan to use for all of our bills and expenses in the next month. And then we break it down and do each paycheck, so we know how much each bill and expenses is getting from each paycheck. So we have our paycheck 1, and I put PC for paycheck 1. So this line will be our paycheck 5. So normally there's more space, but seeing that there are 5 paychecks, it's a little more tight, which is fine. And then this last column here is our total. So we put in how much we budget for my husband's income on this side, and then at the end of the month we will add paycheck 1 through 5 and get our total amounts. So when we close out our budgets, I can open it up here, put in our actual amounts of what each person received, and then have our numbers here. And then these numbers for our expenses here will help us budget all of our amounts for November, which is really awesome. I love being able to figure it out. Like, I know in November we have a holiday coming up, so I want to make sure I have extra money in our holiday sinking fund so we can help fund that and make sure our grocery budget stays pretty replenished to last until that holiday comes up. And as we go through each month, I kind of adjust if we need to. Like a couple months back now, we had to adjust our groceries and we adjusted gas, sinking funds, and savings. All depends on how much we bring in the month. Our spending is depending on how much we're able to save from our paycheck breakdowns the month before, and we just divide it. So it all fluctuates. We just work with how much his income is, our income together is, and that is how we figure it out. So we are going to switch colors. All right, so first up was James, as always. And then myself. And then anything other that we bring in. All right, so for budgeted, for October, we expect him to bring around $3,875 for this month. For me, I'm going to try to get $50. And then for other, we don't expect anything from others, just maybe we'll be able to cash out. There's enough money in one of our, in the GetUpside app, in the Fetch Rewards app, any kind of app. It's some money there. So we shall see. We shall see. All right. So our total amount is $3,925, which is fabulous. There are 5 weeks, so there is going to be quite a lot going into sinking funds and debt. And I'm very excited to list those out and let y'all know what those amounts are going to be. So I tried to list these from our largest amount to our smallest amount for the ones that we know we need to fund. So all of our bills and expenses that are the most important, that we have to have, groceries, gas are most important. The rest of them are at the bottom, and they're kind of a little all over the place because we work with what we got. So first up is groceries. And we have been budgeting $630. So this past month we did shelf timber through the whole month, and we were able to keep our grocery budget really low, which is amazing. But with that being said, we have used up a lot of the stuff that we've had at home. So we are going to be restocking like some meat and some canned goods and different things like that. So our grocery budget this month might be a little bit gone a little bit faster, but hopefully not. We'll try to stick with using shelf timber through the rest of the year and saving as much as we can, so it'll be ready for Christmas and James's birthday. So we shall see. All right, next up, Mazda. So for the Mazda, as y'all know, is $669 or $600.69. So actually it's supposed to be $601. Okay. There's that. Next up, we have rent. Next up, we have power. And our power bill has been a little bit higher than normal, so we have been budgeting around $200 for that. For our next one is Allstate, which is our insurance company. So we have Allstate, which has been about $192 and some change, so $193. Then our phone bill, AT&T, is $183. For gas, we budget $150. Water, it fluctuates in the 70s, so we just go ahead and go above it and try to budget $80 to make sure we're covered. Our charter bill, if I didn't need internet, I would not have charter. So it is $70. For student loans, right now, from now until the end of the year, being December 31st, there is no minimum payment being owed on any student loans or any interest being built on them right now. But I personally decided to keep paying all my student loans the normal amount that I would pay any other time. That way, this full amount here will go straight towards the principal on my student loans and help bring them down while there is no interest being accrued on them. And it's been fabulous seeing those numbers go down. So I'm very excited for that. Pest control, we budget $33 for that. Next up is mine and my husband's personal spending. We group this together when we do our paycheck breakdown. And we try to hit about $100. That way it gives us about $50 each week or each month to spend through the whole month. And that's all we get is the $50. Next up is miscellaneous. We aim to have about $50 in this. These are all of the categories that we purposely make sure we have that much for. Spending and miscellaneous are some of those iffy ones, like we use what we got. But so now we're getting down to the last few. So we got so now we have cushion, and our cushion is to cover anything that is unbudgeted. So if we run out of miscellaneous and we need, my husband needed cord for his weed eater that he got for a while back and fuel for it, and we had the money in the account from the cushion, which is now an unbudgeted expense, which y'all will see in my weekly check-in coming up if it hasn't been already posted. But we use the cushion to cover that unbudgeted expense. So that is what it is there for. Then we have savings. We have sinking funds. And sinking funds is just like savings, except they're designated for a specific purpose for an upcoming event or anything you have going on that you need to save for. And then we have debt. Okay, so for these here, after I added up all of these up here and subtracted it from what we had here, we still had money left over to put in each of these categories. So the idea of this is you cannot go over what the minimum amount you budget. So our minimum budget for the month is $3,925. So everything here cannot add up more than what this is. So we were able to kind of add another $150 for our cushion. For savings, we're going to try to budget $228 towards our savings, which is fabulous. Sinking funds and debt. After I took out all of this, I was left with $600. And I try to make it where I'm half and half with paying off debt and half with saving for things for our future, such as birthdays, Christmas, everything like that that y'all know I like to save for. We split that in half. So each one of these should get about $300 this month, hopefully, which I am really excited about because that means the rest of Christmas will get covered for the most part, and we'll probably have some money for anniversaries, and I'm just uber excited for it. So that is our plan. So we're going to pull out our handy dandy marker, and we're going to do our total. So we're going to add this up and make sure that we did not go over this amount, because if we went over that amount, we're going to have to adjust a number. So let's pull out our calculator here. Make sure I added it all up right. So we got Alright, so that's all of our numbers. So our total is $3,925. Bam. So we did not go over what we have originally budgeted, which is what you want to see. So $3,925. All right, so hopefully all of this works out. His checks have been a lot higher. There are no holidays that he will be off for in October, so hopefully his numbers will be about how much I budgeted here, if not more. More is always better, which means more towards debt, more towards savings. And I am so excited to see what October has in store. I love 5-week pay periods. It's a perfect time to use that extra paycheck to get ahead on some bills, pay up some bills if they're behind, try to get ahead. Like, it is the perfect month if you are trying to work on getting a little bit ahead on some things. Like, you can take 2 bills and get them ahead, or do all of them, whatever you can manage. And I would take advantage of it. Some people like to call it a golden month because there's that extra paycheck, and put it into sinking funds and savings. Build that savings account if you can, emergency savings, anything like that. But I am super excited. I have gotten my monthly view set up here, and it's looking really cute. We now have our paycheck breakdown ready to go. Our October budget's looking good. We have our weekly check-in ready to go, and our transaction logs that we will be keeping up with all of our transactions. In our next video, we will be doing our sinking funds as well as setting up the debt page, our debt tracker. So do stay tuned for that in the next video, and I can't wait to see y'all in that one. But make sure y'all do subscribe and hit the like button for this video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye bye now.